I tear down today this Ericsson brick fan GH197 because it is in very bad condition and a duplicate in my collection. You can see the antenna is missing and more or less broken. I don't know. Here the case is broken. So it is very old. It is 1983. It is so old. You still have handwritten quality control stamps and you have slotted screws for the case, but it is already using the small form factor SIM card, not the full size SIM card. Interesting. Here are the battery contacts. So I will start with removing the belt clip. Easy enough. Here we have some ring around the antenna. I hope it will come easily. No, yes, maybe. Okay. And the screw here. So I think I need to undo these screws now. It will be interesting to see the level of integration of the components. Maybe we will even have full all components in this. And now, well, no screw left. So maybe some help of the screwdriver will... I do not know, because this part in fact is really attached hard, but I do not see any screw. Or maybe it is glued because the case was repaired at some point with glue. Yes, it seems like there are clips at least. Okay, here we are. So, there's 1993 stamp here, AMI casket, and conductive coating inside. So here is what we have. We have at least 2 boards, maybe more. Here is all the radio receiving and transmitting related stuff, and the other board must be the logic board. So first this, as you can see, die-cast metal case with some clips and shielding parts, copper foil and such. The antenna connector, kind of antenna connector, coming off quite easily now. And here we are. So we have this part, we have this PCB crystal oscillator here, 13 MHz. We have this, looks like an hybrid module, so it will probably be interesting to dig in this. 2 Murata components here, MOE001-1018 and -902, and more here Hitachi PF1014. It is probably the power amplifier for transmitting, as it was linked thermally to this part with this clip for heat sinking, probably, I guess. 2 large devices here, must be looks like precision resistors in fact, with 4 legs, not sure. And the interconnect connector to go to the other PCB, of course. On the other side, quartz oscillators probably here, 2 of them, passives, and a few little clips but in fact there are I see 3 chips on this thing, 4 maybe. No, there is two here hidden behind the stickers. Okay. So it will be interesting to dig at least in this hybrid if I can access to it. It may require desoldering this part here for better access. We will see later. So here we have a overboard with memory, it seems. Either flash or RAM. Interesting. Maybe we have a firmware on this. And this must be the main processor. VLSI. Brigitte. Say hello to Brigitte. It is a first name, a French first name, oddly enough. And this part is made by Thomson CSF in or Alcatel in France. I don't remember. Yes, it must be Alcatel logo. So this is interesting. So we have this big VLSI. We have here some analog device and an ADSP 2102. Whatever it does. And here this chip is called a GPS, but it is probably not a GPS chip. Just the brand, quite weird. So this part lifts up like so, and it is pretty much all. We have a keyboard with carbon contacts, as you can see, mating with carbon tracks here on flex PCB. So can I lift the screen easily enough? No, because it is stuck, it seems, here at the back. Yes, like so. Now I can do it, maybe. Yes. So we have a LCD display here with a chip on glass controller, it seems. The keys and this flex PCB, also with a screen, the keyboard backlights, LED backlights. Here we have probably the ringer, loudspeaker and microphone. And apart from that, it is all. So already quite a good level of integration with this thing. Except for this part, which is huge. And yes, we have, clearly enough, we have through all parts. It is interesting. Like so. Okay, so there will be a further investigation about this hybrid. In here I will probably cut it open in order to see what we have inside. And sadly the other parts will probably go to the recycling. Thanks for watching, bye bye.